Islands. Longtime Queens residents are happy with the progress that's been made.
It was an impassable boulevard. You would wait a long time, and then when the light would finally change to cross, you would have to scurry across, watching everywhere, especially when you have two kids.
Queens Boulevard is a model for New York, whole United States.
Mary Lou Buckley 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Sunnyside, Queens.
Well, Tekashi 6ix9ine was sentenced yesterday to 45 days behind bars. That was for violating his supervised release from prison. The judge in the case saying the rapper doesn't have sufficient respect for the judicial system rules. Tekashi, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, initially received a 2-year sentence after he testified at trial against a violent gang. Tekashi told the judge he was disappointed in himself for having to face time again just a half a year before his probation would have expired. Well, last night, it was the big announcement for this year's Sexiest Man Alive. All right, who's it going to be? The Rock, Idris Elba, Chris Hemsworth? Go ahead, Stephen Colbert. Who is it?
This year's People's Sexiest Man Alive is John Krasinski.
John Krasinski? Surely you meant Bradley Cooper or Ryan Reynolds or any of the guys on Love Island. Krasinski?
I'm sure this was a big secret, held, very, very close to the vest, right?
Yeah.
How long have you known that you were the sexiest man alive?
I've known since 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
They kind of tell you.
I'm pretty sure this is still a bit. I thought it was a prank when they told me, and now I'm sure of it.
There you go. John Krasinski, Sexiest Man Alive. Our editor, Walter Geist, by the way, coming in 82nd on that list. Hey, big honor coming up for this guy. Done it all. Next week, they'll all be there for the presentation of his big award. 1010 Wins Entertainment's coming up next.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Scott Stanford here. Now this message for our friends at Barish and McGarry. They are the lawyers for the 9/11 community. Did you know that 69 cancer-related diseases have now been linked to the 9/11 toxins? And even if you're not sick right now, if you have a future cancer diagnosis and you lived, worked, or went to school down below Canal Street on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you may be eligible for the World Trade Center Health Program and a cash award from the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. See, Michael Barish takes the World Trade Center Health Program extremely personal. His law firm was just 2 blocks from Ground Zero on the day of the attacks. He lost many friends that day, even more friends and colleagues to 9/11 related illnesses. Michael himself is a 9/11 survivor of both prostate and skin cancer. As I said, he takes it very personally. It's so easy to see if you qualify, my friends. Just log on to 911awards.com. That's 911awards with an S.com. Barish and McGarry, they are your lawyers for the 9/11 community.
1010 Wins.
They gave me my traffic reports.
Click it on as soon as I'm in the car.
I want the quickest route.
1010 Wins.
On 92.3 FM.
Like an old Merle Haggard song. Mama.
George Strait, Mr. Strait, about to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award of the CMAs. Pretty much the only thing he hasn't won in his career. Going to be an all-star performance for the legendary singer at next week's CMAs. Past Lifetime Achievement winners include Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, and Kenny Rogers. Kid Rock bringing back his Rock the Country Festival next year. Festival is going to take place in small towns across 10 dates in the spring and summer. Mr. Rock going to be joined by some big guests, including Hank Williams Jr., Leonard Skinner, and Nickelback.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
Wherever your child's activities take you, we're there with New Jersey's highest-ranked pediatric orthopedics and urology programs. RWJ Barnabas Health has been recognized by U.S. News and World Report in urology system-wide and in orthopedics at the Bristol Myers Squibb Children's Hospital at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. Visit rwjbh.org/children's health. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered in motion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's enhanced network. Learn more at USPS.com/holiday ride.
From the excitement of Times Square to the heartbeat of Brooklyn, my friends, we are New York's all-news station.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. We were at 37 chilly degrees at 7:40 on this Wednesday, November 13th. I'm Scott Stanford. Here's what's happening. Colder temperatures moving into our area. Couldn't stay warm forever, right? That means it's also time to take care of our fellow New Yorkers in need. Glenn Schuck tells us about a big coat drive today. Dry conditions continue to lead to brush fires. There was one in the Bronx. It caused the suspension of Amtrak service from New York to New Haven. That line's still down this morning. Speaking of no rain, New Jersey Governor Murphy set to issue a drought warning as the Garden State hasn't been this dry in over a century. President Biden and President-elect Trump will get together at the White House later this morning. While Mr. Trump continues to add to his administration, he pulled a surprise pick for Secretary of Defense. Hey, what's that thing do again? And why didn't you put it back? Passengers on a flight in near panic after mechanics remove a part of the plane and, well, they took off without it. Everything seemed to be okay. Sports, Knicks and Devils are winners. Rangers and Islanders lost. AccuWeather, lots of sunshine today, still dry. High only around 50 degrees. Wins news time, 7:41, traffic and transit. Wednesday morning, Amtrak. How we doing, Karen Stewart?
Nothing's changed. We're still suspended on Amtrak service both ways between Penn Station and New Haven, Connecticut because of yesterday's substation fires in the Bronx that you've been hearing about here on 1010 Wins. Customers traveling between New Haven and New York can use Metro North because Metro North is honoring your Amtrak tickets today. Customers will need to board Metro North at Grand Central, and Amtrak is hoping to restore service by 2 this afternoon. You need to keep it locked to 1010 Wins. For traffic and transit, every 10 minutes on the ones, we will keep you thoroughly updated on this Amtrak suspension both ways between Penn Station and New Haven. Long Islanders, the eastbound Northern State near exit 30 has a broken down car in the right lane for you to watch out for. Instead of the Northern State, you try the LIE in that area. Eastbound Southern State at 13S for the Central Avenue exit, we got a broken down car over on the right shoulder. It's not really causing that much of a problem though. Over in New Jersey, the Turnpike northbound truck lane south of 14 have a disabled tractor trailer. It's over on the left shoulder, but it could cause rubbernecking. And at the Hudson's, as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, we are 50 in at the George, only 30 from the Palisades Parkway approach though. The inbound Lincoln is 35, and the inbound Holland Tunnel has got a 55-minute delay. Our next report's coming up in less than 10. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
All right, you didn't think it was going to stay warm throughout the winter, did you? I mean, the coldest air of the season moved into the tri-state area overnight. Mid-30s when I walked out of my home at 1:53 a.m. That's kind of where we are right now. Let's see where we stand for the rest of the day.
Well, the coldest air mass that we've seen so far this fall season has invaded the tri-state, with temperatures getting into the upper 30s early this morning for the first time since back in early April. As that colder air mass was drilling into the region yesterday, we had strong winds that gusted to 40 miles per hour. They drove AccuWeather real field temperatures down into the 40s. And once the sun set, those strong winds persisted. The real field slipped into the upper 30s and even down into the upper 20s early this morning. Today's going to be a breezy, chilly day with sunshine and a high of 50. Another cold night lies ahead. The chill lingers tomorrow before finally easing back starting on Friday. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg. I'll have a complete look at the 4-day forecast in less than 10 minutes on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And as that cold weather moves in, not everybody lucky enough to have the proper clothing to keep warm. There's a big coat drive in the city today. Let's get the details on how you can help out.
From now until November 23rd, the UFT accepting donations of new coats, hats, scarves, gloves here at their headquarters at 52 Broadway. And then on November 23rd, 200 students will be here. They live in homeless shelters and will be given these items. Rich Mantel is vice president of the middle schools for UFT. He started this more than a decade ago and says the reaction from these kids who get the coats is pretty amazing.
had a student was trying on a coat, a little boy. He tries it on, he's smiling. He takes it off and hands it back to me. And I'm like, you can keep it. What are you doing? He's like, wait, what? I can really keep this? I'm like, yes, it's yours. Take it. And the smile on his face could have lit up a room.
Thousands of donations are expected, so all remaining donations will be distributed to shelters and schools around the 5 boroughs in the weeks ahead. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM in Lower Manhattan.
Wins News Time, 7:45. More brush fires breaking out around the area with those dry conditions and winds whipping up. Yesterday, a fire burning in the Bronx caused some chaos on Amtrak. Trains between New York and New Haven are still suspended this morning.
Heavy smoke and flames greeted firefighters at 1601 Bronxdale Avenue.
This is a very large 60,000 square foot building.
Chief of Operations Kevin Woods says this wasn't the only challenge.
We had 2 separate and distinct fires.
The other one was just down the road, where an Amtrak transformer went up in flames and 3 cars were torched at a Con Ed facility.
So it took us quite a while to extinguish that fire. We had to have all train traffic stopped.
There was also a brush fire. Whether or not any of these fires were related is now under investigation. 198 firefighters responded. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Morris Park.
And again, the Amtrak service remains suspended this morning. Of course, we'll let you know as soon as new information is made available. Governor Hochul talking about the wildfires here in the metropolitan area.
The conditions we're facing are still pretty dire. This is one of the driest Octobers we've had on record. This has been a challenge for us because normally starting in September you see a lot more rainfall, the ground is saturated, and something like this would not have taken hold.
The governor has also banned all outdoor burning until November 30th. She said the Jennings Creek Sterling State Park wildfire, which burns in both New York and New Jersey, has spread way over 5,000 acres and is only 20% contained. Jersey Governor Murphy going to talk this morning about a drought warning and the impacts of this long period without rain. The Garden State experiencing its driest fall on record. The governor set to issue the drought warning, which would lead to mandatory water restrictions. Officials reporting that reservoirs are also very low. The New Jersey Forest Fire Service says conditions in the state are the driest they've been in nearly 120 years. Well, the future and current president are set to meet at the White House later today, this morning actually. Joe Biden, Donald Trump together for the first time since that infamous debate.
There's no love lost, of course, between President Biden and President-elect Trump. They have said not so many good things about each other over the years, but President Biden will offer that olive branch, so to speak, in terms of that peaceful transfer of power. That's what the president, White House officials have continued to say. That's what he's doing here, because President Biden wasn't offered that opportunity when he was president-elect back in 2020 after President-elect Trump, then president at the time, fiercely fought the outcome of the 2020 elections.
That's correspondent James Inman. That get-together, as I said, scheduled for 11 a.m. this morning. And the Donald Trump administration continues to take shape, including one shocker yesterday.
Trump kind of surprised a lot of people by tapping Pete Hegseth to be his pick for Secretary of Defense. And this caught a lot of people off guard. Of advisors I had spoken to, this name was not top of the list. He had done tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, Afghanistan. Most notably, Pete Hegseth is known as being a Fox News anchor for the last 8 or so years. He has a lot of books out.
That's Olivia Rinaldi reporting. Trump also picking former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe to lead the CIA and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee as the ambassador to Israel. Well, told you about that Spirit Airlines flight that was shot at while trying to land in Haiti on Monday. A couple of other airlines also discovering bullet holes in their planes after coming back from that country. Well, now flights into Haiti have been banned for 30 days.
The FAA has issued a 30-day ban on all U.S. flights traveling to Haiti. This comes after a series of multiple flights being struck by gunfire while trying to land at Haiti's Port-au-Prince airport. Caribbean Americans living in Flatbush were very disappointed to hear this news.
I mean, that sucks, especially because of the holidays. It's really sad.
Wicked. Why, man is so unjust.
Councilmember Farrell Lewis reminding Haitian families that safety comes first.
The FAA's aim to restrict flights to Haiti is using safety measures, right, to protect U.S. passengers, crew members, aviation personnel.
The U.S. State Department also has issued a travel advisory for anyone traveling to Haiti, urging you use extreme caution. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Flatbush.
All right, Wins News Time 7:49, and since we've been keeping score, two more monkeys have been returned to the South Carolina compound that breeds primates for medical research. There are now 11 of the 43 escaped rhesus monkeys still on the loose after busting out of the Alpha Genesis facility. Officials from the company tell police the two captured yesterday, they were caught eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that were set as traps. How cruel. You're just sitting around enjoying a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and before you know it, you're back in the cage. Hey, if I'm one of those monkeys that's still loose, I'm setting up shop as an organ grinder with a nice disguise for myself.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up